In today's interconnected world, cybersecurity is not just the concerns of IT professionals, rather, it impacts individuals, businesses, organizations, and even nations. My name is Xiaoyan San, go by Sherry. I'm the Associate Professor at Department of Computer Science, WPI. Today, I'm going to talk about my research in cybersecurity. It's not surprising to see the increasing number and the variety of cyber attacks. So these attacks, you can see they involve like malware, zero-day exploits, DDoS attacks, etc. With these ongoing threats that impacts everyday's daily life, it's very important to defend our network against those attacks. So cybersecurity is essentially the battle between defenders and attackers. As security researchers, we often need to take the perspective of both defenders and attackers. From the defender's perspective, we need to study how to better defend our network, how to detect the attacker's activities, and protect our digital assets. However, it's also important to think from the attacker's perspective, because if you do not understand the attacker's tactics and strategies, sometimes it's hard to really defend our network better. So my research usually involves both perspectives. One example is the zero-day attack path detection problem, which involves the defender's perspective. That means we want to study how we can better detect the attacker's activities. So zero attack means the attack has been disclosed to public for 0 day. More specifically, a zero-day attack happens once the software or hardware vulnerability is exploited before the developer has an opportunity to create a patch to fix this vulnerability. So this is a timeline. The software vendor firstly publish a software without even knowing a security hole inside it. And then the attacker exploited this vulnerability before a patch is even created. So this attack is what we call as a zero-day attack. Detecting zero-day attack is usually very challenging. Let me give you an example. So this is an enterprise network which is divided into 4 parts by the firewall, internet, DMZ, intranet, and inside network. Let's assume the attacker is very interested in the financial file on the workstation 3. Instead of breaking into this final target directly, attackers usually need to take some stepping stones. For example, it will firstly break into the SSH server, then NFS server, and then eventually this workstation. This is what we call as multi-step attack. This attack forms an attack path. If any of those exploits are zero-day exploits, then we call it a zero-day attack path. Due to the 0 days unknown feature, it is usually extremely challenging to detect these individual 0 days. So that's why we found that detecting a path is more feasible than detecting the individual 0 days, because attackers usually leave some footprints when they are reaching the final goal. So our approach involves system-level provenance tracking and Bayesian network-based infection probability inference to track the attacker's activities and find their footprints. This is the first research problem. The second research problem we studied is more taking an attacker's perspective. So we want to know how we can evade the detection of the defenders. In network security, attackers usually need to craft secure network packets to break into the target and compromise the remote machine. With the development of AI, now many of the intrusion detection systems are AI-based, which means they classify the incoming packets into malicious packets and innocent packets. If they see a packet coming in that is malicious, then they will drop this packet. So it's natural that attackers will think about how they can craft some adversarial examples which can bypass these AI-based intrusion detection systems. However, these adversarial examples may not necessarily work eventually because they do not satisfy some of the network protocol constraints. So our approach, our study, is taking the attacker's perspective and trying to say how we can craft adversarial example that can not only bypass these AI-based detection tools, but also lead to a successful attack. So our approach will need to satisfy two conditions. Firstly, the adversarial examples must bypass the AI detection. Secondly, this must satisfy the network protocol constraints so we can get successful attack. Our approach then involves AI for security to craft the adversarial examples and also network security to study the various attack types and also satisfy the protocol constraints. So a third research problem we studied is not about the attack and detection, but more about how we can protect our digital assets. We know a major motivation for attackers to hack into our system is to steal some of the secret data. There are a lot of incidents happening before. So then our idea is that what if when this kind of incident happens, what if we can provide some of the fake data that can be stolen by the attackers and deceive them? So our approach then involves data deception, which changes the size of the data, the authenticity of the data, etc. And also involves moving target defense, in which we can expand the shifting space of the data attack surface. So those are the three research problems as the examples. If you are interested in cybersecurity research, you are welcome to contact me through this email. Thank you.